Hey folks, haven't done one of these in a little bit for tree falling. Just do a little after here right away since I saw what it was, and definitely have to critique myself on a bad stump, and kind of wanted to share that and just being honest and finding yourself to what you need to improve on. And so ultimately went down exactly where I wanted it, everything like that, but definitely could have gone awry. Got some good wind. I'm sure you can hear that on the video and all that stuff too. But thankfully the wind's actually in the right way for how I screwed up. So with that, take you in here and kind of see what it is that I did on the stump, and then I'll kind of show you a quick what the logs kind of look like and see what I'm thinking there too. So hold on. Okay, so everything face cut wise, show you from this angle quick right away, was good. Everything looked perfect, all that stuff. And then with the heavy lean, I decided, yep, I should bore cut this, and that part started out fine. Chain might be a little dull, that's why I had to force a little bit, and I think that's how the bar ended up. Show you right in here and you can see what happened. The bar tipped, and so now the far side is low than this side and getting too low for everything. And on top of that, if you can see this way, up top actually, you can start to see I end up, when I was trying to clean up too, I let the bar eat a little bit too much on this side, and I lost my holding wood right here on the edge. Again, I wasn't trying to aim for much, this was all it is. So just held on the trigger a little too much, and that was kind of my fault, thinking it was dull, and it just ended up eating into it a little more than I thought. And so as I kept coming back then the rest of the way, that's why I ended up putting that wedge right here, is just to help keep it upright, to support the fact that I lost this holding wood on this side. It's not that it's going to completely fix the fact that I lost that, but with a heavy leaner it should have kept going with that lean like it did. But this wedge just helps kind of support that and keep it going that way so that it didn't fall back towards me by any means. And so I was getting to the point where I was thinking maybe throw a second wedge further back this way, but kind of saw it really starting to tip and going the way I wanted it to, so I kind of just let it buck there at the end when I reassessed that. And yep, went exactly on the line. Just needed that wedge because of the little screw up there and eating up my holding wood. So that's what you kind of got to do when you do see that. And glad I kind of double checked myself, because then I could have put myself in a really bad position without that wedge, because it had a lean back on me a little bit. I was on the low side, but frankly, why I didn't want to cut from the other side, there was no escape route at all. At least here, if I angle the other way now, you can see I just had any direction to quick run away, in case I saw it starting to come back, lining on me where I was standing, or kneeling, doing the final cut. So that's really what it was all about. But again, definitely had to see the problems here of really, one, probably a little bit of a dull chain. Just needed to sharpen that up. I might have dulled it from when I was clearing up around the stump here and everything, getting rid of all this stuff that was around it originally. I didn't video that because, I mean, you guys see me clean up around stumps before, and that's not the fun part for you guys. So probably nicked a little bit of that material, dirt, and with a square grind chain, it doesn't take long to dull it that way. So that's probably one of the big factors. And then because I pushed and my cleaning up, that's with that dull chain, just compounded here, where I then kind of overcompensated too quickly with trying to flush up my plunge, and got that. So that's that. And but moving along, the rest of the things on the stump on with the logs, what it was indicating was right here, there's two little soft spots. This is a little fuzzy, but it's actually all firm. So I kind of, when I looked here, yep, got those, but I figured they're small, confined to the really center more of the log. So kind of just said, okay, good. Probably won't have much, so I'll just cut this one. I cut it at 10.4, so a good 10-foot log here. And looking at this one, again, the same here. That's completely gone. There is no rot right there. I got a little knot right there, so that'll be an interesting little character piece that might pop through this, but otherwise it looks really clean. Again, this one, there's a few knots in here on and off that might show up. That would be kind of cool, but on this side, this is where starting to see a bunch of spalting show up. You can see that right there, that ring. That's going to be some spalted part of this birch. So again, this log will probably provide some really cool spalted features when I get this slabbed up. Last one, this is a little 6-foot log, and kind of debated whether to go for it or not, and I just figured I'd cut the back end and see if it was solid enough. And again, you can see the spalting on this side already, but I mean, this is what the top will look like, and clearly not really good. But as I cut through it, it was pretty sound. All this is fuzzy, but it's solid for the most part. I do have, you know, there's holes here, there's rot. That definitely took out wood here. But I think still worth probably getting some boards, or slabs I should say, out of this kind of center, because the center is solid. So, because I lose so much anyway when I got to square things up and start slabbing anyway. And then who knows, maybe this could be down here if it's all solid enough. Maybe that could be a cool epoxy slab piece or something. So again, kind of cool, and yeah, kind of a fun log. I think it's going to be kind of all over for character. So with that, wrap that up and have a good one.